Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into something that sounds a bit like science fiction. We're talking about a technology that gives buildings a digital soul, a kind of digital ghost. And believe me, it's changing everything about how we see our physical world. So let's just jump right in with a question for you. What if a building wasn't just, a pile of concrete and steel? What if it could actually talk to you? Tell you its secrets, like when it's feeling stressed, or how you could make it run a little better, or maybe even warn you about something that's about to break next week.
Well, that's exactly the idea behind something called a digital twin. Now, this is way more than just a fancy 3D model. Think of it as a living, breathing digital copy of a real thing, and it's constantly being updated with data from the real world. It's basically the ultimate instruction manual and a live health report all rolled into one.
Okay, so how does this actually work, like in the real world? Well, the first big thing it does is help us perfect the present. We're talking about using these incredibly powerful simulations to fine-tune a building's performance right here, right now.
The brilliant part? The digital twin is basically a virtual sandbox. It's a safe space where you can just play. You can run all sorts of what-if scenarios on the digital copy without ever touching or risking the actual physical building. It's the ultimate playground for getting things just right.
So what kind of experiments are we talking about here? Well, for one, you can dial in the perfect settings for energy use, which saves a ton of money and is way better for the environment. Or you could model the airflow inside to make sure everyone's comfortable and breathing healthy air. You can even figure out how to maximize natural daylight to make the whole place feel brighter and, honestly, just a nicer place to be. And look, the results can be pretty incredible. When you actually compare a regular building's energy use to one that's been optimized with a digital twin, wow. The savings are not just little tweaks here and there. We're talking about major, significant reductions in cost and environmental impact. This isn't just theory. It's a real, tangible benefit you can see.
But getting things perfect right now is really just the start. This is where it gets really cool. Digital twins also give us this almost spooky ability to predict the future. And we do that with something called predictive maintenance. And the whole idea here is an absolute game changer. Think about it. We're moving away from being reactive, waiting for something to break and then scrambling to fix it. Instead, we're becoming proactive. We're talking about fixing problems before they even happen.
So you're probably wondering, how on earth is that even possible? Well, it's actually a pretty straightforward process, broken down into 4 steps. First, you've got sensors all over the real building, and they're constantly streaming data to the digital twin. Step 2, an AI is watching all that data, and it's looking for tiny little things that are out of the ordinary, anomalies. Then, based on those little clues, the system actually predicts that something might fail soon. And finally, step 4, it sends an alert to the maintenance crew so they can go make a repair way before anything ever has a chance to break down. Simple, right?
Okay, but this isn't all just about crunching numbers and predicting the future. The third major use for this tech is where things get really immersive. We're talking about creating a whole new reality for how we engage with buildings, and we do it using VR and AR.
And honestly, the difference here is just night and day. The old way, you were stuck staring at flat, confusing 2D blueprints. The new way is totally different. You can literally put on a VR headset and walk through a building that doesn't even exist yet. Or you can run super realistic training drills in a perfect digital copy of the real thing.
This has 2 huge benefits. First up is what we call stakeholder engagement. This just means clients can actually walk through their new building and give feedback before a single brick is laid. Think of the money that saves on changes down the road. And second, there's advanced training. Technicians can practice really complicated or even dangerous procedures in a totally safe virtual space. This makes them better at their jobs and makes the real building safer for all of us.
So, there you have it. 3 massive functions, right? We're perfecting the present, we're predicting the future, and we're creating a totally new reality for how we interact with the world around us.
When you step back and look at it, this is so much bigger than just a cool 3D model with some data attached. What a digital twin really does is it lets us have a real, two-way conversation with our physical world. For the first time, we can actually ask our buildings questions, and they can give us answers. And that just leaves us with one last, really fascinating thought. If our buildings can have these digital ghosts that learn and adapt, what's next? Could we have a digital twin of an entire city? What about an entire ecosystem? What happens when our whole world has a digital copy that we can actually talk to? Now that is something to think about.